question that you might need to answer if you want to earn more success in your life and really accomplish the goals that you have in your brain. And that is from a career standpoint, relationship standpoint, a health and wellness standpoint, a personal standpoint, whatever the case may be. This question applies to all areas of our life. But at times, okay, I don't think that we are always consciously thinking about it and the impact that it can have and how it can hold us back. And that question is simply, why do we fear mistakes so much, and or why do we fear failure? Okay, when you really think about this and you start unpacking it, personally, this is something that I struggled with for a long time. And it goes all the way back from being a little boy in school, right? Because think about this. If you raised your hand in class, right, and you got the wrong answer, I don't know about you, but I became embarrassed. I would internalize that. I felt worthless. I felt like I was an idiot. I felt like whatever the case may be, and my little ego at the time was hurt, okay? And so when you think about these things as failure, as mistakes, I think that we can be conditioned, through our life to really fear those things because of how it maybe affects our ego and or our identity or what we think other people think about us, okay? But then let's look at fitness, okay? I think anybody that has earned results inside of fitness, whether that's from a fat loss, muscle growth, strength gaining, whatever, if you are improving your fitness in some way, shape, or form, there are going to be times and places that you fail. And actually going to failure can be super beneficial. It's like when you go to the gym and you're going to go for a new PR, okay? And you put the weight on your back and you're like, all right, I'm going to squat 500 pounds. And you fail the rep, okay? It's not like you never go to the gym again, right? It's understanding like, hey, that was what I was going for. I didn't get it, but now I go right back to working so that I can accomplish that. So why don't we do that in our career, right? Why don't we do that in our lives? Again, I think it's because we don't take those skills that we learn here of pushing ourselves and understanding that failure and mistakes are part of the process, okay? And since we don't push that into the other areas of our life, we don't push ourselves in those other areas of our life, which means we are not going to see the growth and or the success that we want, all right? Let's look at this from a very practical standpoint, from maybe a career standpoint, okay? You're in a meeting. All right, your manager, your leader, a teammate, someone asks a question, everybody just sits there and looks around. And you might know the answer, but you're hesitating, right? It's that uncomfortable. Well, that goes into the same exact principle that we all hear about all the time of like leaning into the uncomfortable, right? Getting comfortable with the uncomfortable. If you never speak up, how is anybody on the team going to know that you're even thinking or that you're even involved or engaged or that you even know the right answer or that you're even valuable? Okay, if you're just sitting there like a bump on a log, you will be treated and paid like a bump on a log because you are not contributing to the group, to the effort, to getting better, right? Now, you might raise your hand and you're like, shit, all right, that was the wrong answer. Okay, well, those wrong answers don't define you, okay? They don't make you an idiot. I can tell you from being a part of a lot of teams and leading teams, okay, I much rather have someone that is contributing and working, like truly working to contribute, okay? And their answers might not be right, but then we can talk about the thought process. We can use this as a learning opportunity to make sure that we get to the right answer, to make sure that we get everybody on the same page so the team can have more success in moving forward, okay? But again, at times we think of these failures or these mistakes as like, holy shit, that's the nail in the coffin of my career. Not true, not true, okay? It's how we look at these things over time. And just like we have to change our mindset and develop in a lot of different ways, maybe that's with time management, maybe that's with learning to say no. If you're someone that's also like me that reflexively would always say yes because I'm a people pleaser, okay? Those things, if we don't develop them or, further our understanding of them, they will ultimately hold us back. And that is the same thing with fear of failure and fear of mistakes, okay? So when you think about this, it can be very, very simple, all right? Lean into that. Lean into that because even when you make a mistake, even when you have a failure, okay, how you respond to that is 100% in your control. And one of the best things that my dad told me early on in life, okay, is that with enough time, effort, and resources, about anything is fixable besides death, okay? Like anything, think about that. With time, effort, and resources. And maybe a different combination of all those things, right? Like it's not like a perfect 1-to-1 ratio, but time, effort, and resources, okay, you can fix about anything. So even if you make a mistake, okay, well, how do you overcome that, right? That shows a lot about your character as well, okay? Again, think about it from a career standpoint. Being on a team, you make a mistake, all right? If you're someone that does like some half-assed apology and it's like, blah, 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 and it's insincere and you don't take action to actually fix it, okay? Well, that will hurt your reputation, right? But if you're someone that makes a mistake and you don't try to hide it and you just fucking own it, and you're like, hey, that is 100% my mistake. There's no excuse, blah, 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 blah. Okay, whatever the case may be. And then you take action to learn and to fix it, okay? That is something that is respectable, right? I think any teammate in the world can respect that, right? Now, they might be frustrated with you, okay? But it is respectable, okay, that you go out and you fix those things. Now, I'll also tell you, through learning, okay, going through that process of fixing a mistake, right? That strengthens the connections in your brain with that information, so you're less likely to make that mistake again if you think about it that way, in the sense of like, all right, made this mistake, I feel guilty, I feel bad, right? You're putting these emotions on here. Shit, I let the team down, okay? You're strengthening that like feeling with the action, and you don't want to do that again, and then you take the action of fixing it and correcting, and then you get that feeling of like, fuck yeah, okay, whew, put the fire out, got everything back on the same page. I feel guilty, I have relieved my guilt, I don't feel guilty anymore, I have relieved my guilt. I have relieved some of that stress because I took action and I got these things done and I figured it out, and I now know the answer, right? Or I now have learned the thought process, or I understand the concept, or the action that needs to be taken. That in and of itself is valuable. That should level up, again, your confidence, but only if you choose to see it that way. If you make a mistake and then you go to fix it, and the whole time you're like, oh God, I just got to get it done. I just got to get it done. Oh my God, and you're just panicked and blah, 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 and you just get it done, and it's like, okay, whatever. No, you missed out on a huge opportunity to build those connections and also build that confidence in yourself. So again, like I said, this might be one of the questions that you need to answer if you want to earn more success in your life. And that is, why do you fear mistakes, right? Why do you fear failure? Now, I don't think you should go into anything thinking like, oh yeah, well, if I fuck it up, oh well, no big deal. Yes, it is a big deal. You should always give your best and try not to mess those things up, but understanding you don't have to be perfect, okay? You'll never be perfect, so understand that. And understanding and believe in yourself that, again, with enough time, effort, and resources, about anything in the world is figure outable, okay? You can overcome those things. And for me, that gives me peace of mind of understanding, all right, I'm going to do the best that I can. I'm going to make the best decisions that I can in these moments. Even when I'm overwhelmed and I don't know what to do, I try to break it down to small tasks and do the best that I can. And I have a thought process, and here's what I'm doing. And shit, if it falls flat, okay, well, I gave it my best, and I feel comfortable that I did based off the skill sets and the knowledge that I had. And now I get an opportunity to fix it. Okay, and now I get an opportunity to strengthen that connection so I don't make this mistake again, and then we can keep moving forward. So hopefully this was beneficial for you. If you got any value out of this, please give it a like, drop a comment below or a question below. I always try to answer all of those below and help out any way that I can. Or if you want to share this, right? Maybe you got a friend, a family member, a coworker that you want to kick this over to in a text, an email, whatever the case may be, please do that as well. But other than that, I just encourage you, answer that question, or at least think about that question for yourself, because when you do, I know that it can help you earn more success in your life.